to Bhagwan Mahavir and Acharya Shri Tulsi Gurudev. So we're taking the journey of Adhyatma Padavali, and we would like to repeat the verse. Now probably most of you have remembered it, right? So anyone want to start? मैं हूँ मैं भेद पर जब जाता है ज्ञान संभव बनती है तभी आत्मा की पहचान. I think we can all do it once again. मैं हूँ मैं भेद पर जब जाता है ज्ञान संभव बनती है तभी आत्मा की पहचान. आत्मा की पहचान. So here Acharya Shri has started the journey with intense spirituality. He talks about Atma and gradually he brings different layers. So he is going from complex to simple. In the process of complexity, he showed the karma theory, lesha, dhyasa and others. He also talked about mind, emotions, gyata drashtava. Now, the question arises, how do we practice this gyata drashtava? And then he simplifies further. So today the topic is Santulan, Karm and Akarmka, which means Santulan of action and balance between action and non-action. So when we live a life, there is constantly something going on. And in the process of going on, we take care of many things. We take care of the worldly business, we take care of family business, we take care of the body. So if this is constantly going on, is there a balance in it or not? As simple as this. So basically when we talk about extreme spirituality, there could be a state where 14th Gunasthan is Ayogi Avastha. In 14th Gunasthan, when a soul reaches it, it is complete stillness, which means no body physical action, no mental thoughts, no breath, not even the blood circulates, not even the heart beats. That's stillness. If that stillness is accomplished, within seconds, it is liberation. But when will that come? Chaudhva Gunasthan, right? And which Gunasthan are we now?
One.
No, what? Okay, some of you say 1, some 4. How about others? We are in 5th Gunasthan. First Gunasthan is where a person has not started the spiritual journey, in the sense that Mithya Drishti. Mithya means to not have the right perspective of religion. But at least we have faith, right? We might not practice it, but we have the faith that religion, spirituality is good and it does help. It might not help me because I'm not doing it. That's a different case. But it has power. To believe that it has power and there is liberation, which means you're out of the first Gunasthan. The second is actually when we fall back, you reach into the second. So second is not that important for us. The third is mixed state. Mixed means ye hai ya wo hai. You're not sure whether there is liberation or not liberation. I'm sure no one thinks in that language, right? Dvandva aata hai, ulta seedha, aise mixture. We don't have confidence that this is the case. There are two different things. One is to question, like you have questions about spirituality and religion, that is different. There is difference between question and doubt, right? Doubt means you're blocking your pathway. Question means you're interested to understand, you didn't understand it. But since I've not understood it, this is not the case. Well, if I've not understood a concept, I don't stop myself doubting, oh, there is nothing like this. You want to understand, you want to clarify, you want to open up your channels. So that is where third Gunasthan is doubtful state, whether you're not confident that this is the case or that is the case. There are some people who are who go for this, right? Who knows whether God exists or not? What do you call them? There's a word for this. Atheist is where they deny that God exists, right? Those who go by ignorant thing, like you don't claim either of the case. So being atheist is first Gunasthan. Again, atheist does according to Hindu tradition, we are atheist. So what is the definition of atheist is also important. Those who believe that God is the creator of the world. According to them, we are atheists because we don't believe that God is the creator of the world. But according to Jainism, theism means to believe in soul, believe in liberation. So we are theistic according to our own perspective. And then comes the fourth Gunasthan. Fourth Gunasthan is where we have Samyak Drishti, we have the right perspective, we have faith in religion and spirituality, but we are not able to practice it. Which means those who have not taken any badha, even one badha in their life for one time, they are in the fourth Gunasthan. And I think most of us have some badha or the other for lifelong. Like even the simple badha that I will not eat meat for the whole life, then that can push you to from fourth to fifth Gunasthan. So for fifth Gunasthan is where most of us will belong, where we have faith and we have some badha taken in our life. So we are in fifth Gunasthan. So this journey where we go by a balance, because when we go by an ascetic life is where they try to go for complete non-violent practice. Means walk on foot, no cooking, no money matters, no business, no owning property, complete detachment. So that is where it is a higher state, and going for that you further go to the 14th Gunasthan. So from 6th Gunasthan to the 14th Gunasthan is another spiritual journey. But here we are from 4th and 5th. So the idea that when we have this body, we have mind, we have the speech power, can we have a balance in it? So Shravak's life is a life where there is a balance between social commitment and spiritual commitment. To explain the sixth, any Gunasthan, usually there is another interesting thing, that suppose there is a person, there are different degrees, right? One is, even if you go by saying someone is a millionaire, even a person who has 1 million is a millionaire, who has 20 million is a millionaire, who has 100 million is a probably millionaire, right? So the degree of difference between the first millionaire and the last millionaire is immense and huge. So even being a Shravak, the degree of your practice could be, you could be on the first ladder of Shravak, you could be in the last ladder of Shravak. So how does that come? The more awareness, the more practice of it, and the more balance. So here, it is not trying to talk about the balance which you have between social and spiritual life. No. Achashi is trying to talk about spiritual balance. Balance of mind, balance of body, balance of speech, balance of breath, balance of food. The first verse he says is, क्रिया अक्रिया का युगल जीवन का चिर सत्य वही क्रिया है सत्क्रिया जहाँ अक्रिया तथ्य. So he defines Satkriya, which means right action. What is right action? Which is backed up by non-action. Generally, people say that fasting is action or non-action.
Action.
It is a mix of action and non-action. The commitment which you made was an action, that I will not eat. But then, following that was a non-action. So there is an intense combination of practicing something, doing something, and then not doing something. And any act is a good act only when it is backed up by not doing. If we constantly do one thing, for example, if a person is too thinking, right? We say people are mad. Why a person is put into the asylum or like mad? We claim someone as mad. They don't have the ability to stop their thinking, control their thinking, and they just go by what the mind says, they do it or say it. So the lack of control, the lack of veto power puts them into the category of madness. So here the balance is very important, where we have a control, where we only do or say which you are supposed to be doing or supposed to be saying. Sometimes people come and say, I knew the truth, I told it. It doesn't matter whether the person likes it or not. Is it okay?
No.
according to Dashrekalik, even Kadva Sach is Pap. So the point is, even if it is harsh truth, it becomes sinful. Because there is no, sometimes you have to say something to someone, but the approach could be non-violent, where your method of saying is very non-violent. You first create a humble environment, make the person feel that there is a good dialogue, good energy, and then slowly and gradually present it in a very non-violent way. Constantly hitting on the truth without any kind of those backgrounds is literally a violent act. So here the balance is very important. Again, the balance is, there are so the three layers. One is negative act, Ashubh Yog. Second is Shubh Yog. And then third is Shuddhopayog. So from Ashubh Yog, from negative act to positive act comes Shubh Yog. The moment you're in Shubh Yog, you've dropped something. So Shubh Yog is a balance of good act and absence of negative act. And Shuddhopayog is where you literally drop the action itself. You're not thinking anything. We have the story of Nami Rajarshi in Uttarakhand. So here there's Indra who came to him and said he had the whole huge kingdom of Mithila. And when Indra came to him and said, see, Mithila is burning with fire and there's so much of problems there, why don't you go and take care of it? Probably I'm missing the name. So the story is where the king realizes that his kingdom is being attacked by someone, the neighboring kings. He feels very bad about it. He starts thinking, oh, I'm going to have a war. I'm going to protect my country, I'm going to protect my son. So the whole war is not happening in the actual battlefield, it's happening in the mind. That time Bhagwan Mahavir asked, Gautam Swami asked Bhagwan Mahavir, Bhagwan, now suppose he dies at this moment, where will he be born? What is the answer of Bhagwan Mahavir? First hell. After a few seconds, he ends up into second hell, because when the anger is there, the anger gets intense and intense and intense. So it is going higher up or going down. It's going higher up. Then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh. There is no eighth hell, right? So he stops there. Further, when Bhagwan again asks, Bhagwan is again asked by Gautam Swami, the answer is reversal. When he reached a peak point of his thought process that I'm going to kill everyone, he suddenly realizes, who am I? I'm an ascetic. What am I doing here? Am I supposed to be thinking this? Where is my country? Which is my country? I gave it up, right? So when I'm detached from my country, why do I still own it in my mind? Let it go. So the moment he starts changing his thought process, Bhagwan literally says he's got Keval Gyan. So you see the thinking from negative to positive and positive to extreme silence state. There is no thought process. How does this come about? Why is there negativity initially? Because there is attachment, there is minus. The moment we hold on to something as this is mine, you want that mind to be the way you think it should be. If it is my son, he should do this way, he should live this way, he should have this kind of lifestyle or thinking. Even we want them to think the way we want them to think, right? So are we governing the world? Inside our mind we try to, right? Bahar mein to it's not possible, so it doesn't come about. But if someone says, okay, I wish you that you want to govern the world, let it be. Do you think it will be good governance? No? One day, Indra comes to a person, one of you, and says, okay, whatever you had thought in this life, everything will come true. Will you be happy or sad? Probably there are so many negative thinking going on. So the problem is that do we have a balance? Where can we kind of balance again from negative thinking to positive thinking and from positive to no thinking? The balance between the shift from negative to positive, we all understand. But again, the shift from good act to non-act is where meditation comes in. In Preksha meditation, for a few seconds, we say just observe. What is just observance? That is no act. Even when we are saying arham, 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 it is an act. It is a positive act. It is a shubh yoga. There is a yoga. But to drop that yoga and completely be in the awareness of nowness, the moment, is complete non-action. So that moment of non-action should always follow the action. Einstein, when he came up with his relativity theory, how did it come about? Was it by thinking and calculation? Just in the state of silence, he had it. There are many great scriptures, like for example, if you look into Mantungasha, right? Bhattamar is composed such an amazing, powerful, miraculous composition. He was in the jail. He started praying to Bhagwan Rishabh. Did he think and compose? It was just flowing from himself automatically, spontaneously. Why was that possible? When we are in trouble, we constantly talk to Bhagwan, right? This is happening. Why don't you listen? Why is this going on? And nothing is there. There was actually once there was sadhu sadhvis traveling in Bihar, right? So people they do the cleaning up before the journey so that the Bihar is probably like comfortable or better. And accidentally, what they did was they had they took all the dust and everything and burnt it. Like that's the general process people do so that there's no clutter. But the mistake was they burnt that stuff near a tree. There was, beehive, and they didn't realize anything about it. They just left it and they went. The next day, when sadhu sadhvis were traveling, all the beehives actually attacked those nuns, and probably most of them were nuns traveling together. It was such a terrible attack. They were crying like it was literally very bad, and the whole area like kind of was buzzing with it. And there they were constantly saying the prayers as well and remembering whomever they had faith, like Bhikshu Swami or Shantinath Bhagwan or Pash Bhagwan. Nothing came about, right? At that time we think, oh, no one is helping us. The problem is we are at a different plane. We are at the level of physical pain. We're not able to disconnect from the outer world. We're not able to connect from the inner world. The problem will be there. The solution comes in detachment, in silence, in dropping the problem. You hold the problem, the solution is not there. Acharya Sri Mahapragya Ji in Preksha meditation, he gives a few meditation packages. One of the technique is try to meditate at the end of the day before you go to bed. Open up the question of problem, like anything you are in trouble, right? You have something where you're not able to decide what to do next. But meditation is not something which will change your world or delete your problem, but it can help you guide the. So in the meditative state, you raise the question. The probability is in the same meditation you constantly do it, you will have an answer there. Or after that, when you are in the sleep mode, when your body is relaxed, your mind is relaxed, you have a solution there in your dream. So this is possible. Why? Your conscious mind stopped thinking. And only when you open up your unconscious treasure, you have the ability to tap into the solution. When we try to search solution, we try to search solution through thinking. The solution is in non-thinking. It's a very big truth and great tool. It's not easy always, because the moment you raise a question, you try to answer it. You don't leave the unconscious mind to answer it. You think you know the answer better, and you give 4 options to yourself. Again, you're in the trap. No. Drop every answer you have in your mind. Be quiet. Let it come to you. It is not that Bhagwan is sending you from heaven or Siddhalok. It is inside you, but it should open up. It should unveil. And that appearance of it needs, if there is traffic jam, can you reach here? So all the cars ahead of you should pass off the pathway, only then you can come here, right? So if there is traffic jam of thoughts, the solution is there in the line. But the initial ones have to be cleared out. It's important. And the moment you clear it out, you have a solution. So it says, मौन और अवक्तव्यता है वाणी का सार, निर्विचार सविचार से खुलता मन का द्वार. Silence and speech. This is the balance of this is the essence of speech, basically. When we talk about speech, if I'm speaking, why is my speech appropriate? Only if I pause in the right place. If you say a sentence, and if you don't pause exactly where you have to be pausing, you might end up into a wrong sentence, wrong pronunciation. There are actually different kinds of compositions which people create, poems. And in that poem, you have to have a rhythm of, where you pause. And if you don't take care of it, then there are problems. There was a person who created a poem, and at the end, the wordings were such that it came about Nagor Rame. The word was Nagor. Nagor is a city, and Me is in Nagor. So I composed this poem in Nagor. Nagor, Me. But because of the rhyming which had to happen, the break was Nago Rame. What does Nago means? Nude. And literally the impact was, this person, he got mad, like he had that madness, he was walking on the streets. There is a big power in speech. What you say, how you say. Even that's the reason when we say Bhaktamar or Agam, the appropriate reading is so important. In Vedic tradition, they have a strong emphasis that you have to be perfectly perfect. Acharya Tulsi, when he would ask us to recite, simple thing, Naukar mantra, logas. We've been reciting logas for a long time. And then he would say, no, you haven't done this right. And we would not understand what was wrong in it. So, because the language rules are so intense, when we talk about Tirthankar Bhagwan, right? He has Atishay, Vachnatishay. The Vachnatishay of Tirthankar Bhagwan is so intense that not a single word which is uttered by Tirthankar is false. Why is that possible? It is not just knowledge which they have, how they speak. Even when you speak, if the tone was different, if the pause was different, it would look violent. It was a non-violent statement, but how you presented it, even a stronger emphasis on one of the words could be hurting. So the impact of silence and speech is a big thing in our life. Suppose someone told us something very intensely harsh, and then there are two possibilities. I speak, I don't speak. If I choose to keep silence just for the first few seconds, it could be 30 seconds. I don't speak instantly. I let go 30 seconds, have a cup of tea ready, and then come up with a dialogue. So what did you choose? You chose silence before speech. This changes the whole energy level. So silence, where do you use silence and how you use silence is a very powerful thing. If at that moment you speak instantly, even you speak with humbleness, right? But since you spoke, the other person is not ready to think that the person is humble and agreeing the problem or agreeing the mistake. Person only observes that there is a bouncing back words coming to me. And there it's important that we use silence with speech. There are situations in the meeting, right? You could just say something which is there in your mind instantly, but then you think, let me give a second thought to it. You take silence for that second, that time, rethink over it, then come up with your calculation. There is silence in speech. So this power of silence is a big tool. Your silence could make the other person more angry at times. It is okay. It's okay. Because the other person wants to speak, right? Then the other person is ready for a fight. Simply saying, right? And you are not ready for it. You choose silence. Which is a better option? Because sometimes people come and ask, Samaniji, if I don't say something, then the person is more angry. What do you think?
I'll keep silence.
So the thing is, yes, you might feel that the other person is more angry, but literally, if you had talked, then the space of the fight, the duration of the fight would have been double of it. Right? It is now only one person have to take care of their temperature. If it would have been the other way around, it is two people taking care of the temperature and it would be longer time. So make sure that there is this ability of silence and speech going together. There is two things that we have in Jainism, Samiti and Gupti. The sadhana of Samiti and Gupti is the core of Panch Mahabharat, you know. And there is 5 Samiti and then 3 Gupti. Which are the 5 Samiti? Irya Samiti, Bhasha Samiti, Eshna Samiti, Ada Nikshep Samiti and Vyutsarga Samiti. I mean, though this is mostly for the ascetic, it applies for everyone. So Irya Samiti is? Walking. When you're walking, are you aware of your walk? Which means you quit the unnecessary walking and only choose for necessary and non-violent. You make sure that you don't step on grass or bugs or anything of that. Bhasha Samiti, speak. When you have to speak, you speak. But how do I speak? So there is a balance. You cut down the negative, Ashubha, dropping off the Ashubh, choosing the Shubh, and choosing the Shubh with a balance. Because if we are constantly doing something, it is mechanical, it doesn't work that way. And then Irya, Bhasha, Eshna Samiti. Eshna means?
Eating. Eating.
When sadhu sadhvis take Goshri, right? So they have to be conscious of what kind of food it is. Is it prepared for me? Is it Sachit, Achit? Sachit means with life, or is it lifeless? So to take care of all those and to be eat with awareness is Eshna Samiti. Irya, Bhasha, Eshna, Ada, Nikshep. Ada Nikshep means where we keep things stuffed somewhere in a certain manner to take and give certain things, to be aware of that the exchange is non-violent, and finally it is with self. So when they discard any kind of products, is it in a non-violent way? Today everything goes in the trash can, right? There are 3 cans there, recycling and non-recycling, but how much of awareness is there towards it? Because the moment you have awareness that this product, if I'm throwing it, what will happen to this in the cosmos? The global warming is going on, right? There is so much of changes in temperature, weather conditions, oceans are getting dirty. There is so much of trash in ocean. Actually, we saw a small YouTube clip where they showed recordings of the dung which is lying under the ocean bed. It's huge. And there are so many fishes which eat this. They're plastic in it. They die. Because they die, the water gets diseased, and then there is a whole cycle of process. And imagine how many water bottles and things we throw every day. So the awareness of what am I doing? Is there a balance of action and non-action? Am I using it with awareness? Can I make sure that this is done in a right way? That non-action could simply be, am I doing it in a right way? Can I quit the negativity of the whole act? It's very simple, but it's very powerful. And the moment we have awareness of non-violence, you will realize you are in a very different plane of thinking. Because ahimsa, in the sense that I should not hurt anyone else, I should not hurt my soul, is such a transformative tool. Because something happening around you, and you keep thinking and thinking about how it's going to happen, what's the solution to it and stuff, right? The constant thinking is killing your own soul. It's hurting your own soul. Your mind gets diluted, your health gets affected, and above all, your soul gets cluttered. The soul becomes impure, restless. Where is the impact? On the soul. So that awareness of I should be positive to keep away violence on myself. Self-abuse is the biggest abuse. We don't realize it. People, when they get too stressful, they overeat. Or they are bullying. All these violent traits comes why? There is negativity. And the negativity could be on the self, eating too much, sleeping too much, talking too much, or hurting someone through some means. So the source of detoxifying yourself is through non-action. Basically, when Achashi is trying to bring this concept of action and non-action, there are three important things here. One, why choose non-action to detoxify yourself? After the party, when you've done everything clean up, what do you really need? A good sleep. Yes? You're overworked for the party, right? So much of work, so much of planning. You want this to happen this way, you want that to happen that way. You need everything, you want it the way you want it. What's the result? You enjoy the party, but it was too tiresome. Did it rejuvenate you? Did it bring you more energy?
No.
But it did bring happiness, right? The smile that I made this happen. The ego was accomplished that this party was excellent party and I did it. But ultimately, what do you need? Non-action. Because without that non-action, tomorrow, the next day, you will not be able to work appropriately in your office. You will be in trouble. So every action, non-action is actually healing you, helping you to detoxify. When sadhu sadhvis, when we go out, the first thing when we return back to our place, we do kayotsav. Chavistav actually. Why? We say nissahi, nissahi. When we go for some place, we say avasahi, avasahi, which means I'm traveling only for the necessary act. Which means I'm not roaming around for my joy, pleasure, or comfort. It is to help my spiritual journey. It is avashyak, and only for avashyak reason I'm going out. When I return back, nissahi, I discard the whole baggage which I was carrying in the process. The mode of action which I was going through, I stop it. And then do kavasak or chovista. Why? So that I can get rid of the baggage which I might have accomplished, the karmic baggage because of negligence in working. Because when we are doing any act, we might not be 100% right. So that dropping off of the karma instantly after following the act is kayasa. Such an awareness. Every act should be followed by a non-act. Every act should be followed by a cleansing process. Even when you return home, right? Most of us are tired because it's been a whole big day working on your projects and stuff. Return, even from a simple act, by Kaya itself. You don't know much things, you know logos, recite them in silence. You don't know even logos, you can just say four times Naukar mantra. But that is where you let your mind say, I've finished the act, so don't keep carrying that act even after you've come out of it. Because what happens, the job things are carried to your home, and then since your mind is already heavy with those thinking process, you're not ready for a comfortable homely environment. How do you deal with it? Do Kawasal. Try to relax yourself. Just 3 minutes of Kawasal, 2 logas if you're able to say, then you might drop the stress, you might drop your tiredness, you might drop your karma. What else do you want to drop? Everything is gone, right? Physically, mentally, and spiritually, you are coming up with a cleansing process. This is non-action. So the Achashi is constantly saying, action is right only if balanced with non-action. Thinking is fine only if it is backed up by non-thinking. If you constantly go in for cluttering thought, then there's nothing but madness. And we hope we don't claim ourselves to be mad, right? Not in this life for sure. So then we need to have a balance. The next one which Achashi says is जीवन रथ आहार से चलता यह आभास अनाहार के योग से सफल हो रहा ग्रास. Just think for a moment, close your eyes. Yesterday, what was the food which you ate just for your, which was appropriate, and the other which you didn't, which you ate, which wasn't right for your kind of body, mind, or anything? You could see the list. What was it? It was a healthy diet or unhealthy? Healthy. Congratulations for those who can say that it was healthy. But at least you have an awareness. The awareness is what you eat is important. So again, unhealthy diet, and even in healthy diet, it is healthy. But how much should be the proportion you eat? Right? So suppose it is just milk. How much of milk is okay? People go for soya, right? And now the research is extreme soya is cancerous. Anything extreme is unhealthy. So the point is, even by eating, is eating keeping you alive or non-eating?
Non-eating.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Only the non-eating after the eating keeps us alive. Because if we don't give time for the stomach to digest it, churn it, change the energy, the food into energy, and give us that energy, only just eating. And how does the food digest? When does it digest? Only when you're not eating. That's the reason we say at least have 3 hours of break, right? And in Jainism, what do we say? After eating, take badha for 2 hours or 3 hours that I'm not going to eat. So we are. If you want to drink water, do vihar. So you see here again the 5th gunasthan which I mentioned, there is a balance. You ate and you're very sure you're not going to eat for 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. You can take the badha that I will not eat. It is not just helping your body, it is helping you spiritually with awareness. That is non-violence towards your own self. Because only that balance keeps you non-violent towards yourself. Any imbalance in eating? Any craving people have? Like people when they are stressful, they eat a lot, right? And they, it's a disease, right? What do you call it?
Bulimia.
Bulimia. What do? They overeat. By overeating, they try to take care of their stress. And then they go into trouble. So this balance, even like when we talk about after sundown, you should not eat. There was a person who met us in a train, and he said, there's so much common in all Indian religions, right? So how do you identify that this person is Jain? Do you have any labels which shows, okay, I'm Jain?
Raksha Potli.
Raksha Potli. They might have something like that as well, right? They might not call it Raksha Potli, but they might have different kinds of bands which they wear.
They don't eat after sunset.
Not eating after sunset is unique practice of Jains. Even you might find other traditions who don't eat onion and garlic and stuff, like Swaminarayan are much more stricter than some of us here. I mean, some of us do practice very well. But you see here that there could be other things related in Jainism, but this not eating after sundown is again a big practice. Good for health, of course, and it was not for the purpose of health. Jainism doesn't do anything just for health purpose, right? After sundown, the temperatures are different. The bugs which grow, the subtle microbes which grow after sundown is much higher, and then when we travel in that state for food, because naturally for ascetics they have to go to different places to get food, it would be more violence. So the purpose is non-violence. Can we keep up that practice? Not eating for a few hours in the day, not eating after sundown. Even a person does fasting. Someone did month fast. Excellent. It was a great experience. After opening the fast, do you have control over your eating? It is a terrible thing, I would say. I use the word terrible because fasting can heal your body. Fasting can make your body all afresh, like a body for baby, newly born, which has nothing, I mean, everything is perfectly fine with that. So your body can go back to that healthy state of a birth state of a body. Or if you're not taking care of your eating habits, it could be chaotic, where you might pile up many diseases just because of that imbalance. You see here, an ahar was great, but that ahar, the balance in that ahar should be equally great. So here it is merely the control of mind which has an impact on the control of food. In sadhana of Jain sadhana Paddhati, there is one important concept. It says, if we have the control over our tongue, we have done everything. Brahmacharya ki sadhana, control of tongue is required kind of thing. Control of tongue is important because both the ways, what you speak is equally important and what you eat. The diet which we take has an impact on the body and mind. There are certain food which we eat, we're not able to wake up fresh mind, we are still lazy, lethargic, no energy. When we ate it, we were perfectly fine. But then, when you have a party eating, right? What's the state in the morning next day? It was a party meal. Party meal should be excellent. What is the definition of excellent? So the point is should the excellent be defined by health criteria? Like, okay, this is an excellent meal for a healthy mind and a healthy body. So the idea of balance, from unhealthy eating to healthy eating, and even in healthy eating, can I have a balance? That is where ahar sanyam is there. And finally, Acharya brings the breath. जीवन कारत श्वास से चलता यह अभ्यास, सहज श्वास संयम चले तभी नया उल्लास. Ullas means joy. Many things we do in our life is for joy. Party time for joy, going for vacation for joy. We take these initiatives for just a break, right? Which is important. And here the example is breath. In Buddhism, there is an article written, it talks about the breath. So suppose you like something, and that which you like something, you want to have it. Suppose I tell you, stop breathing. You would be doing it because Samaniji told, and you'll be fine for a few seconds, but the moment you get exhausted, you want somebody to tell, come on, breathe, right? You wait for the next instruction. When I say stop breathing, you want to breathe. When I say, okay, breathe, and I say constantly breathe, how long can you breathe? Now, what do you want next? To exhale. Can you only breathe because you want oxygen? Or can you only exhale because you want to release carbon dioxide? Or can you only hold the breath? It should be a balance. The balance of breathing is a great tool of our life, which gives a big example that nothing in extreme is okay or even possible. The moment you choose the extreme path, it is not a peaceful life. And the most important thing which the sentence ends is Sahaj Shwas Sanyam Chale Tabhi Naya Ullas. Kumbhak is a practice in meditation or in breathing techniques where you hold the breath. To experience the inner joy, that is the way to get it. So if we have any kind of botheration, hold your breath. You will find everything calms down. Hold your breath, your mind calms down. Hold your breath. You could feel the inner joy which is just lying inside you. Breath is a great control of your mind and your physical actions. If you have control over the breath, you have the control of your whole life. Only the lack of control of your breath, even suppose a simple thing which we observe, right? If the emotions are